Hello there, party people. This is Mrs. Boyd. We're talking today about inverse linear functions. It's just a little bit of switcheroo is all we need to make this happen. So to find the inverse relation, we switch the x and y. So if we have x, y, we're going to flip it around to y, x. If we have 2, -3, we're going to flip it around to -3, 2. We're given points in this set, 3, 4, 1, -2, -1, -5. Means our inverse will be 4, 3, -2, 1, and -1, -5. Just flip them around. If we have 0, -2, that turns into -2, 0. -1, 4 turns into 4, -1. -2, -2 stays the same because both of the points are the same. If we're given a table of values, -2, -3, all of the x values are going to go in the y column, -2, 1, 4. All the y values will go in the x column, -3, 0, 3. And that's the inverse. Okay, it's just that easy so far. To graph an inverse, find the coordinates from the graph and determine the inverse. So we're going to write the coordinates of this line down in our table. So let's start with the y-intercept right here. That point, x is 0, y is 3. Here we have x is 2, y is 2. Here we have x is 4, y is 1. And up here, we've got x is -2, y is 4. So the inverse, when we want to find the inverse, we're going to do exactly like we'd already done up above and just flip those around. So everything in the y column goes to the x column, and everything in the x column goes to the y column. Now we plot these points. We have a point at 3, 0. A point at 2, 2, which we already have, a point at 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, a point at 1, 2, 3, 4, -2. So this is the inverse of our line. Now, if you'll notice really quick, I can draw a line at y equals x, which is just splits the first and the third quadrants right in half. And that is where the point of reflection is, the line of reflection for our inverse lines. So the line of reflection is y equals x. And that's going to be the same for all of these. If you didn't try the last one on your own, go ahead and try this one real quick on your own. To write some points down for this line, we can do x is -1, y is -3. We can do x is 0, y is -1, x is 1, y is 1, x is 2, y is 3. Now let's do the inverse. All the x values go in the y column. All the y values go in the x column. Now we can plot these points. -3, so 3 left, 1 down. And then 1 left, none down. 1, 1 is still going to be a point. And 3, 2 will be another. So we can make our inverse line here. And again, x equals y will be our line of reflection. And that's where those should cross. All right, so that is, in a nutshell, how we look at a graph or a collection of points and find the inverse. Now, let's see what we do if we have a inverse function. First, let's look at the function that we have. We're given f of x equals 4x minus 2. So step one, we're going to get rid of f of x and write it with y. So y equals 4x minus 2. Next step, and it's as easy as it sounds, replace x with y. So we're going to switch x and y around. So this becomes x equals 4y minus 2. Now we solve for y. So we have to get y alone. So to do that, let's see. Let's first add 2 to each side. We have x plus 2 equals 4y. Now to get y alone, we need to divide both sides by 4. And we can just leave it like this. Y equals x plus 2 over 4. Now we're going to replace y with this f inverse of x. And that's how we say this, f inverse. That's what the little -1 means, of x. So this becomes f inverse of x equals x plus 2 over 2. Oh, over 4. That should be a 4. I'm sorry. That's all we have to do for these. Seems a little daunting right now, but I think you can do it. If you're daring, go ahead and try these on your own. If you want to wait through a couple with me, that's totally fine too. All right, we get rid of f of x and make it y. So y equals -3x plus 5. And then we're going to change x and y around. So x equals -3y plus 5. Then we solve for y. So subtract 5. X minus 5 equals -3y. Divide both sides by -3. Those cancel. And we get x minus 5 over 3 equals y. Last step, take out y and put an f inverse of x. And that equals x minus 5 over 3. Let's do another one. F of x equals 2x plus 1. Now get rid of f of x and make it y. X and y trade places. And then we solve for y. So subtract 1. X minus 1 equals 2y. Divide by 2. Get x minus 1 over 2 equals y. Now we get rid of y and replace it with f inverse of x. And that equals x minus 1 over 2. Last one in this group. We've got f of x equals 1/2 x minus 5. So just like before, we're going to take away f of x and make it y. So we've got y equals 1/2 x minus 5. We flip x and y around. X equals 1/2 y minus 5. And now we solve for y. So we add 5 first and have x plus 5 equals half of y. If we want to divide by this fraction, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2 over 1. So we can rewrite this 2 times x plus 5 equals y. 2 over 2 cancels, 1 over 1 cancels. Now, we can distribute and flip this around. So we've got y equals 2x plus 10. Last, we change it to f inverse of x equals 2x plus 10. That's all for that row. Last row, we've got lots of fractions. Don't be discouraged. Fractions are our friends. Do not despair. Same pattern. We're going to take out f of x and replace it with y. So y equals x minus 5 over 3. Going to trade x and y spots. X equals y minus 5 over 3. Now we have to solve for y. Can't get y out of this numerator part of the fraction, so I need to get rid of divided by 3. To do that, we multiply by 3. So we've got 3x. Those cancel. Equals y minus 5. Now we add 5 to both sides and get 3x plus 5 is y. Now we get rid of y and replace it with f inverse of x equals 3x plus 5. That same idea for all the rest of these. Replace f of x with y. So y is 4/3 x plus 8. X and y trade spots. X equals 4/3 y plus 8. Solve for y. Subtract 8 from both sides. X minus 8 is 4/3 times y. Now we multiply by the reciprocal. When we do it on the left, we multiply it by the whole side, not just the x. So we've got 3/4 times x minus 8 is y. I'm going to distribute that 3/4. Flip it around. So I've got y is 3/4 x minus, multiply across the top and get 24 over 4. Now I'm going to do two things at once. I'm going to get rid of y and make it f inverse of x. And I'm going to simplify my fraction. 3/4 x minus 6. Very last one. Get rid of f of x, make it y. So y is 3/2 x minus 1/4. X and y trade spots. X equals 3/2 y minus 1/4. Now we have to solve for y. So I'm going to add the 1/4 to each side. The new denominators don't matter because I'm not going to be adding anything anyways. These are going to stay separate. X plus 1/4 equals 3/2 times y. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal times 2/3. 2 over 2 cancels, 3 over 3 cancels, and I'm left with just a y. On the left, I've got that equals 2/3 times x plus 2 times 1 is 2, 4 times 3 is 12. Now all I have left is to reduce my fraction. So y turns into f inverse of x, and that equals 2/3 x plus 1/6. I hope these all make sense to you. It's a really step-by-step process that I think you can really wrap your brains around. I hope you please reach out if you have any questions or problems, and I hope to see you real soon.